Welcome, guys. Welcome to Breakthrough Tips, Tools, and Insights for Life. Today, as usual, we are dealing with how to use these tips, tools, and insights that I share with you to truly help to transform your life. And tonight, it is no different. So I'm hoping you have a pen and paper with you. It's a really exciting series, and I'm so glad you joined me. We started this new series talking about how to find your purpose, basically how to identify your gifts and talents and purpose for life, and most of all, how to know that our purpose is basically tied up in the gifts and talents that we currently have within us. It's in our DNA, believe it or not. So if this is your first time joining me, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm asking you to, 1, share this broadcast, 2, give me some love, some likes and hearts and comments. Share your comments with me. In case you're wondering, who is this girl and what's Breakthrough all about? Well, who is this girl? This girl is the girl who couldn't speak. I couldn't enunciate my own name for most of my life because I stuttered so badly. And the two most difficult letters to enunciate were W's and S's. And can you believe it? My name begins with an S. And most of the important questions we can think of asking, like who, what, when, where, why, they all begin with W. So for most of my life, I felt a pain, rejection, anger, so much because I couldn't do basic things that most people could have done. But, you know, moving past that stage, I was able to work on Wall Street in a Fortune 500 company, managed over 500 people, or the operations of over 500 people, have established communication and leadership companies, consulting, coaching, so many things. How did I move from not being able to speak to where I'm at today? The funny thing is, I didn't know it, but all along, the things I've done, the person I am today, the things I'm currently doing, they were all written in my DNA. I was meant to do what I'm doing. I'm telling you, meant to do it. But growing up, I didn't know it. Actually, I couldn't see it because it was buried so deep inside of me. Today, we have a really exciting program because I'm going to be sharing with you, 1, how do you find it? How do you find the diamond in the rough? Because that's how I consider myself to be as far as like my gifts and my talents. So, but before we go into that, let's talk about what Breakthrough is all about. Breakthrough is about living and leading with passion and purpose. It's deliberately influencing people with a spirit of excellence. It's impacting the world around us with the spirit of excellence. And in case you're wondering, well, what if I'm not excellent all the time? Being excellent or breakthrough and living with passion and purpose, it's not about living and doing things excellently all the time. It's the pursuit of excellence. It's you continually saying, I did this well, but I could do it better. And next time I will try to do it better. Living with passion and purpose, it's about a consistent, intentional working towards excellence. It's a consistent working towards greatness and helping others bring out the greatness that's within them. It's not a one and done thing. It's reaching beyond who we think we are, reaching beyond our basic needs and meeting the needs of someone else and helping them grow and become greater or better than who they think they are. So as we go through, I'm asking you to think about the things I share with you and see how can I use this in my own life to help transform my life and help transform other people's lives as well. So thank you for joining me again. Please hit the share button. Please give me some love and hearts and know that we're here for a short while, and I'm hoping today you have pen and paper because you'd need it. The things I'm about to share with you, again, it talks about purpose, but then in the nitty-gritties, how do you accomplish it? What do you need to do in order for you to fully and truly walk in your purpose? And in case you're wondering, yes, you do have a purpose. The purpose is within you, and it's so great that it's almost frightening because you yourself can't believe that the dream, the thoughts you have could really be or do something great in this world, or because of who you are right now or where you're at right now, you can hardly believe that you can do anything great. But I'm telling you that you were created for greatness. So no matter where you're at, your greatness is not dependent on where you're from, the color of your skin, how much money you've got right now, your culture, your likes or dislikes. It's connected to your likes and dislikes, but it doesn't determine where you end up. Again, your past does not determine your future. Your past does not determine where you end up. You have a choice of where you end up. You have a choice with the things you do on a daily and deliberate basis to determine where you end up, no matter where you've come from. So again, I hope you have a pen and paper ready. I hope you're ready to rock the boat, because sometimes walking in purpose means deliberately rocking the boat, deliberately ruffling some feathers and not being in alignment with everything else. Many times we don't realize that the true value of who we are, it's not in the things that we have in common with each other, but it's the uniqueness of who we are. The things that make you special is not the same things that I have in me. The things that make you special, and more so the things that make you valuable, are the things that are different than anyone and everyone else you know. I am special, and I'm not speaking from a haughty, I'm above everyone else, because we are not. No one is above anyone else. The thing that makes us feel like someone is that way is because this person's gifts may have been developed some more than yours or someone else, and you may want to compare them. But there is no comparison, because your gifts are so different than mine, and the way you accomplish it, the way you get to that point of using your gift so confidently that people look at you and think, oh my God, she is great. It's because of the discipline, it's because of the pain, it's because of what you have put into refining the gift that's in you that truly helps you to be confident. How do you become confident? And I know I haven't even gone into my session, my lesson yet for this evening about the steps to take to accomplish your purpose. But how do we become confident? We become confident when we do something, especially something that's difficult or something that we may know just by the way. When we do it and do it with excellence on a consistent basis. You cannot just do it one time and expect to be confident. Me sitting before you here, it took a long time, even though I was in broadcasting before, even though I managed these 500 people, even though I developed training programs for corporations and stood before them and presented it. Even though I did all of those things, sitting before you right now, it's taking practice. And every time as I practice before I sit before you, there's a nervousness. There's almost like a fear that comes inside of me that tells me, why are you doing this? And I have to literally tell myself, I am doing this because this is my purpose. My purpose is to help you and anyone and everyone else listening to this broadcast to walk in their purpose. So know that no matter what your purpose is, there may be some nervous feelings, there may be some fear that may come in, but if you deliberately do it, consistently do it, you will eventually develop confidence, and that confidence would help lead you into walking in such full purpose that people would look at you and think, oh my God, where did she come from? Where did he come from? So remember that confidence is not an overnight thing. It comes by consistently practicing. Now, today we're talking about how to identify your purpose. Now, as I go through any of my series, there are a few things you need to remember. That your most valuable asset is your mind. Your most valuable asset is your mind. And your greatest investment is not a house, it's not land, it's not a car, it's not your career, it's not a college degree, it's not your children or your family. Those are excellent investments, but your greatest investment is your investment in you, what you invest in yourself, the discipline that you invest, the time it takes to develop a discipline in a specific area. That investment in you it has 100-fold return, not just on your family, not just on your kids and your husband, but any and everywhere you go. So if you remember that your greatest investment is in you and your most valuable asset is your mind. Those are the first two things. Now, what goes with that is your attitude, because you can achieve many things with a bad attitude, but in order to keep many things and influence people and lead with passion and purpose, you need to have a good attitude. And that means that you're willing to say, I'm sorry, even when you feel like, well, they ought to be saying sorry to me. You keep your mouth shut when you'd really want to say something or tell them off or tell them as it is. You keep your mouth shut for the cause of your purpose. I recently shared with my niece, she's running for a governmental office, and I recently shared with her, going into this field means that you're always in the public's eye, and it would be having your hand in the lion's mouth. And when your hand, my mother taught me this, when your hand is in the lion's mouth, you take it out gradually. So her going into this arena means that her hands will consistently and continually be in the lion's mouth, and then she'll have to gradually do whatever she's doing with the knowledge of whatever she says and does impacts not just herself, but everyone in her constituent. So I'm saying to you, for your purpose, there are some things you need to say, you know what, I'll forget it, or I'll forgive him, or I'll leave it alone, because your purpose is so much greater than the issues that may come to you now and again. So remember, as you go forward, 1, your mind, 2, your investment in yourself, 3, your attitude. So I asked you several questions last week about your purpose, and one of them was, what are the things you really like doing? What are the things you hate doing? What are the things you were told that you do really well from a child into adulthood? Or what are the things you realize that you do really well now? Those are important to this discussion. So I hope you wrote them down. And if you didn't, I hope you write them down now and attempt to answer them, because your purpose is wrapped up in those questions. Our purpose never changes. My purpose to speak to you today, to be a speaker and a leader and a trainer and a coach and a consultant, that has never changed. It's been written in my DNA. So know that as we aspire to accomplish our purpose, it could be a hint of our past, a hint from our childhood. So remember that your purpose could be tied up or written in those things you used to do or love to do or currently still love to do. But again, your purpose never changes, and that you find your purpose in seasons. You arrive at your purpose in seasons. There was a season when I couldn't speak and couldn't enunciate my name, but there's a season when I began to read the Bible and read dictionaries to learn to enunciate. And as I did it, as I practiced, I got better and better and better, and now I'm able to speak with you without stuttering through every word. So remember that your purpose comes to you in seasons, just as summer. When summer is here and it's leaving, you cannot stop fall or winter from coming after fall, or fall from coming after summer. So too is your purpose and the seasons that you go through. And you cannot try to hold on to people, things, or ideas as you move towards your purpose, because they may be old ideas that may need to be renewed for your new season in walking towards your purpose. So be mindful of that, and that your purpose must be tested. People may tell you, well, who do you think you are, Sharon, for sitting and trying to be talking to us right now? But who do I think I am? I think I am made to walk in purpose, and that's what I'm doing. So again, your purpose is tied up. It's within you. It's written in your DNA. Your purpose comes to you through your gifts, which are given to you as a gift, naturally, no cost to you. They come to you as that, or they are tied up in the talents, the things that you believe that you're good at. I can tell you one thing, I love to sing, but I don't think I'll be doing a record deal anytime soon. I may be a good backup singer, but that may be about it. So the question is, why do I need to identify my gifts and talents, and what does it have to do with my purpose? So here's why. Identifying your gifts and talents is not only to help you determine your purpose, but it helps you also in the career you take, the business, the job, the course of studies you do in college. And that's important because you could be an accountant, or you could be trained for an accountant to be an accountant, but what field would you work in? Would it be in sports? Would it be in medicine? Would it be in entertainment? There's so many different fields, and knowing your gifts and talents would truly help you to merge your career and your talents to be and help you truly walk in purpose. So remember that it's about our purpose. The reason why we were created as human beings is to accomplish and walk in a specific purpose. Everything in life was created with a specific purpose. So we need to remember that our purpose is greater than who we are, what we do, our culture, our skin color, our heritage, and so on. Our purpose is greater than our past, our current, and our future challenges. And identifying our gifts and talents is the key to unlocking our purpose. Now, the challenge in our life that we may be going through right now, I believe it's essential to us accomplishing the purpose we were called for. We have come from so many different backgrounds, or maybe a broken family and a broken relationship, medical issues, abuse, poverty, discrimination, cultural issues. Our parents may be not the ones we wanted, or maybe we were wishing that we had our friend's parent. But I tell you, the parent you have and the family you have is the exact one you need to accomplish your purpose. But you need to realize as well that brokenness is part of us accomplishing and walking in purpose. I'm telling you because my life in so many ways have been so broken. But today I feel that no matter the brokenness or what comes before me, I know I have a purpose to accomplish, and I plan to walk in that purpose. Now, don't forget that our gifts and talents are what helps us to walk in purpose. So don't take for granted the things that you do quite easily. So now, I hope you have your pen and paper. So on that paper, I'm asking you to write down, if you have already written them down, think about it, the 3 most challenging or painful memories of your life. The 3 most challenging or painful memories in or of your life. Write those things down, because it's very possible that your purpose is tied up in those memories. The other question I'd like you to answer is, write one thing that makes you angry, really angry, or that you hate with a passion. I hate to use the word hate, but that's the strongest word I can use to help you identify what's that thing that you just don't like so much that you never want to do or want to be around. Because guess what? Your purpose can be tied up in that very thing that you don't like and that makes you angry. The other question I need you to answer is, write down 3 things that you love to do or that you lost time doing. Now, nothing is too simple or too silly. It could be a physical, intellectual, or emotional thing. It could be any of those things. Maybe something you love to do, like carpentry. You love building little things as a child, or you love asking questions as you grew older. So think about those things, because your purpose could be tied up in that. And the other question I'd like you to write, the other answers I'd like you to give me is 3 things. I think I shared that before. You love doing or lost time doing. Nothing is too simple or silly. I want to remind you of that. It could be related to nature, to people. You could be smart, just being an excellent interpersonal relation type person. You could be great with numbers and logic and math. You could be wonderful with photography, something visual, or you see the beauty in nature and you take some amazing pictures. Or you could be kind of like intrapersonal, in the sense that you're a thinker. You come up with great ideas no matter where you go, what you do. Or you may be more kinesthetic, where you like to do, feel, and then try new things. Or it could be music. Or you could be a great wordsmith. Any of those are areas that you could be great at and take for granted because it's so natural to you. But guess what? Your purpose could be tied up in any one of those things. My first memories, and I'm just reviewing the things I've shared with you now about the 3 things or the list I want you to make. My first memory was as a child was seeing my aunt be abused by a man. Broke into her home. I was with her that night and she was abused. And at 3 years old, having such a memory, it's so pain. And I think maybe that's what caused me to become a stutterer as well. I was just so broken, so angry, so devastated, and I didn't quite know why. I started stuttering and I didn't know why, and all into my adulthood. Never saw a speech pathologist, but here I am speaking with you. So I'm saying to you that even in those first memories of me seeing someone hurt someone else, I think my compassion now, it's because I want to help. I want to embrace. I want to love on people because I've seen this very special aunt of mine be abused. So I guess that helped to form who I am today. So don't neglect the memories you have because your purpose may be wrapped up in them. Again, I couldn't speak, but here I am speaking to you. So your purpose could look like a diamond in the rough. What does a diamond in the rough look like? In case you never knew, these rocks, those are diamonds. Those are diamonds, believe it or not. So when you see rocks like this and you're wondering, diamonds, really? Yeah. These simple, rocky, ugly things create beautiful things like these. Or like this, right? So my thing to you is that your gift, your talent, your purpose could be wrapped up and look like just real rocks, silly rocks. But out of it, once it's refined, can become a diamond. So don't neglect the things that you have been hurt by or is hurting you now. Because the pain you're feeling, it's your purpose that's calling. So investigate it more. No doctor healed me of my speech impediment. I was determined that I would practice, I would learn, and I went back to my creator. I said, if you're God and you created me, then you can fix me. And I think all of us ought to challenge God like that. Challenge your creator. Because if something is wrong with my iPhone and I take it back to the company, they'll fix it. If something is wrong with your vehicle, Ford, Mercedes-Benz, whatever brand you have, if something is wrong with it and you take it back to the manufacturer, they'll fix it. So why not speak to your father, your creator? If he created you, then he has what it takes to fix you. That's what I did. And I'm speaking with you now despite many, many, many years from childhood into adulthood of stuttering. My journey is maybe different than yours, but it may take, not may, but it will. It will take discipline. It will take you telling your mind, when your mind is telling you you can't do it, it will take you telling yourself, yes, I can, and yes, I will. It will take you writing notes or making a plan for your life. What do you want to do? What do you love to do? So on those cards, and if you've answered those questions, I'm telling you that your purpose is hidden in those answers. They're hidden in there. The greatest investment, I said to you, that you can put in anything is in yourself. When I paid my way through NYU, that was an investment in me. When I spent over 20 years in Toastmasters International, that was an investment in me. When I spent many years with the Dale Carnegie Institute, training, learning, helping others learn and grow, that was an investment in me. When I spent hours on a weekly basis reading and learning, that's an investment in me that nothing can take away. So I'm saying to you, you need to invest in yourself and go against. There's something called, I believe it's called cognitive dissonance, where your mind is telling you one thing and you know that you need to do the opposite thing, or that you should be doing the opposite thing. So I'm saying to you, when your mind is saying, no, you can't, you need to be saying, yes, I can. And write down your goals, write down what you love to do, because in there, you'll find your purpose. My passion for speaking has always been there, but I didn't know that because I couldn't enunciate well. So what are you stumbling or struggling with now? Your passion, your purpose can be tied up in that. Despite my inability to speak for most of my life, growing up from childhood into adulthood, I'm doing it now because I was determined that I wanted to speak to you. I wanted to help you find your purpose as I found my purpose. I wanted to tell you that the road to your purpose is not always easy, and there may be stumbling blocks and rocks along the way. But if you determine in your heart and mind to walk over those blocks, walk over those boulders, walk over anything that comes before you, I promise you that you will walk in your purpose. A gift costs nothing. The gift within you that will lead you to walk fully in your purpose, it costs you nothing. And many times when something doesn't cost us something, we take it for granted and we don't treat it well. So I'm saying to you, the things that you think about yourself, that, oh, I just do that naturally, that's just something I know to do. Don't take it for granted. That could be the very gift that would help you walk in purpose and accomplish what you've been called to do. Your gift is hidden within you. It's nothing you have to go purchase on the outside. Again, I'm going to repeat some things over and over and over again because I want you to catch it. And if you don't hear it the 8 times before, I'll do it 9 and 10 because I want you to know that your purpose is in you. You don't have to go outside to look for it. It's written within you. So whatever you're doing, remember, what is my purpose? I shared something with you last week about the 5 talents in Matthew. I think it's from Matthew 25:15 through 22, where one person was given 5 talents, and another 2 talents, and another 1. And the one that got 5 and 2 multiplied them, and the one that only had 1 talent buried it. Don't let that be you. Because if you're looking at other people and saying, well, they've got 5, they can do so many things well, and they've got 2 and they're doing so many things well, I've only got 1, so I don't need to do anything with it. No, that's the very thing that would cause you to come before great men. That's the very thing that would have people calling on you more so than anyone else. Did you know that 5% of people are never out of a job? Anyone who's at the very top of their calling, top of their gifting, top of their profession, they're never out of a job. Why? Because they have learned to be excellent, learned to hone the skills that they have. They didn't rest on their laurels. They did something about what they had to multiply their gifts, to make them become who they are today. Me speaking to you took a lot of not thinking about where I've come from, not thinking about who I am, not thinking that I'm a woman, I'm a black woman, I'm a short woman, whatever thoughts that can come to mind. I found out something really quickly. I had this plant that my sister gave to me. It's a little plant in a pot. It was a little bud, about half the size when I first started. She gave it to me in this box. Now, this plant is supposed to look like this, okay? It's supposed to look like this, but it came like, as you see, a little blade here, and it shows you how it should grow. Now, it's been planted. This is the first step, because if I kept it in this box, it wouldn't be where it's at right now. First thing I had to do was to plant it in the right soil, and the second thing I had to do was to water it. Now, once I do that, and I have been doing it because it's been growing, once I do that, I should expect to see this result. Right? So I'm saying the same thing with you. Your gift, your purpose is like a little budding plant. It's in you. Now you need to water it and nourish it, and then eventually it's going to grow into the beauty in which it was created to be. Don't disregard the gifts that you consider simple in you. Don't allow the things you've been through, the challenges and the pain of your past, to hold you back from accomplishing your purpose. Next week, I'll share a story with you about how things can come to interrupt your purpose, and really thoughts that you never had would come to mind. And I might as well just share it quickly with you now. Several years ago, in 2010, I believe, my mother had to have a major surgery. And with that, I decided to move from New York to Pennsylvania to be with her for that surgery, since she had a business and she wanted me to help her run the business while she was recovering from back surgery. And when I left here a couple years later, after I was here and took care of her, went back to New York, and I stayed at my friend's house in Connecticut while I tried to commute to New York and find a job and so on. And one day I was in this 3rd floor apartment of her house, or a studio apartment of her house. That was like a summer house or something like that. I was writing a book as well. I'm still writing the book. Writing this book up in this third floor place, going back and forth to New York, trying to find jobs and so on. And I felt like I had no friends. I mean, my family was there, but I felt like I was just alone and in this lonesome place. Now, I am an optimistic, positive, always seeing the bright side of things. And all of a sudden, this thought came to mind. Why don't you jump out the window of the third floor? And I'm like, what? Wait, I said, devil, you are a liar. And then I'm like, what? And break my foot? That's crazy. He said, well, why don't you wait until you go back to New York by your dad on the 27th floor and jump off the building, jump off that balcony, because you'll surely die. And I said to myself, devil, you are a liar. And the one thing that came to mind is a scripture, and that's why it's so important what you put in your mind. The scripture in Ecclesiastes 9:4, it says, those who are joined to all the living. So as long as you're joined to all the living things, there is hope. And that one scripture, and it continues to say that a living dog is better than a dead lion. And I don't know where that scripture came from. I know I must have read it once before, and it came at that time because the enemy would come to give you thoughts that are not even in you, to make you think, well, there's no hope. But can I tell you, no matter what you've been through or where you are, those crazy thoughts that may want to come to your mind, you need to shut them down. So the next time one come, I'll give you my scripture. It's not my scripture, but I used it. It came to mind at the right time. It says, it's Ecclesiastes 9:4, those who are joined to all the living, for those who are joined to all the living have hope, because a living dog is better than a dead lion. So if you feel like a living dog right now, you're alive and you're joined to all the living. So it means that you've got hope. So with that said, I'd like to ask you, what has this program, what has it done for you? What is it doing to your mindset? And I'm hoping it's doing something to your mindset to lead you to accomplish your purpose. Everything in life is about purpose. As I continue next time, I'll share more about the nitty-gritties of accomplishing your purpose and how to answer those questions I ask you. If you've already answered them, I'm asking you to shoot me a text, shoot me an email at breakthrough@gmail.com, and I would review them and answer you in more specific terms. But until next time on Breakthrough, where you hear practical tips, tools, and insights for life, I'm asking you to remember this. In Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trust in your Creator with all your heart, and lean not onto your own understanding. Don't depend on what you know or understand, but seek His will in all you do, and He will show you the right way, the right path to take. So I'm encouraging you as you go forward this week, walk in purpose. Know that your purpose is written in your DNA. I am praying for you. I do pray for you every single week that you will identify and walk fully in your purpose. Until next time on Breakthrough, have an amazing week.